the people. Sahara love the masses.
Welcome back to Sahara TV. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. As we approach the 2015 elections, the Nigerian political landscape is heating up in several ways. The president is making moves that are geared towards repositioning him for re-election, possible re-election in 2015. And to help us understand all the intrigues in the political arena, we have invited once again the outspoken Kaduna-based Islamic scholar, Sheik Ahmad Gumi. Shiek Gumi, welcome to Sahara TV.
Okay, welcome. It's a pleasure.
Let me start by asking you, we saw in the last, this week alone, the President Jonathan sacked his chief of staff and 4 ministers, including Stella Oduah. Though the government is claiming that they resigned just to pursue their political careers, we know better. How do you see these moves?
Okay, first of all, I will very much thank the Sahara reporters for exposing the wrongdoing of the minister and subsequent follow-up, which has led to her resignation or forceful expulsion. Because if the press in Nigeria had been like Sahara reporters, we wouldn't have reached this stage we have, deplorable state of the nation. So I thank Sahara reporters very much for doing their best.
Thank you.
This is what we have expected the president right from the word go to have sacked this lady, and not only her, all those that we are charged with corruption. But unfortunately, it took so long, and it came too little and too late. Because already the nation have characterized the regime as tolerant to the corruption, beside the case of millions of billions of dollars between NNPC and whoever, which side of the government, I don't know. So the image is really not really yet corrected. And if the president will have, for political reasons, said, I have sacked this woman, not that she has resigned for political issues, it will have even be a better image. People will say, okay, now he has changed. But even coming out to somehow give a nice face to her resignation, I think it's not really good. It's not a good message for the nation.
Now, you mentioned the $20 billion that is still missing. We know that the Minister of Finance said that now they have to bring external auditors to look into the account of the NNPC. What do you think is going on there, and why is it that there is no sense of outrage that a country like Nigeria cannot account for $20 billion when all the money we have, our budget is now more than $30 billion?
Yes, this is the irony, actually. Nigeria, a big country with such resources, huge resources, and great human power. All over the world, you find Nigerians everywhere exhaling. Even in the country, Nigeria, we have very good resourceful human beings. We can do things ourselves. Our problem has always been leadership. And this leadership cut across the whole nation. It's not a northern or southern issue. It's not a Muslim or Christian issue. It's just bad leadership in Nigeria. This missing fund, I think I also will support to have a foreign like forensic auditing, because it will come unbiased. And even in selecting such forensic auditors, there should be a balance. You don't just bring people, one group of people from West they could have some interest because a lot of this money are in Western banks. They should get some people from China, from Germany, from Russia, a combined team to come and look into this. This is very good for the president to maintain his credibility. It's very good.
Now,
And even for the PDP.
now Sheikh, who should bring them? Is it the president or is it the minister? Who should bring somebody, a group of people or somebody to come and audit and have credibility?
The Senate, the Senate and the House of Rep can do that. The House, the two houses can do that.
Not the minister.
If you can have, no, not the minister. If the minister, he will get those people who will support them, because I told you the money is not in Nigeria, it's in foreign banks. Nigeria here languishing in poverty, disease, bad roads, bad electricity, and all this Nigerian money is outside.
Now,
So the Senate or the House of Rep together, they should combine a team to do that. And it's very important for the ruling party, PDP, to have such an investigation. If not, it's a very good card to have the opposition and get elected.
Now, Sheikh, if you remember when Sanusi, the central bank governor, first mentioned missing money, they had a reconciliation committee they met, and even the Minister of Finance has brought in an external auditor that actually said they verified the 10.8 billion that they finally said was not accounted for. How are we sure that this will not be another of such incident?
Yes, to make sure it's not such incidents, let's have foreigners to look into it. Let's have foreigners once and for all to clear the government or implicate the government. And it's very important, as I said, for the government and for the ruling party to have such a clearance. Really, because we are approaching in less than a year, there will be elections. And this will be a very good point against them. So if I'm the president, this is what I will allow the House to make a full investigation, have external, what do you call it, auditors to look at it, so that we clear the issue once and for all.
Now, does this bring to memory the Nuhu Ribadu's report after they looked into the accounts of NNPC? They submitted their report and nothing happened. Does that show a government that is serious about dealing with this issue? Because if that had been done, something had been done about the report 8 months ago, probably we won't be where we are today.
Yes, in fact, if they call it the Speaker of the House can say that the body language of the government is so and so, this who is a part of the system saying this, the CBN governor is part of the system. So if part of the system is complaining that there's some discrepancies in the budget, then it's something to take very serious, really. Not only in Nigeria, even our foreign, what do you call it, countries, friendly countries, we should have to show them transparency, to show them we are serious people before anybody can take us serious. I don't think with such kind of a cloud over Nigeria, anybody will be interested to spend, to invest so much huge money on Nigeria. So I think we advise the government to take a very serious action, even though from what has been transpiring before, it's very unlikely. Maybe we are just talking to deaf ears.
Now, on Tuesday, at the inauguration of the Nigerian Industrial Revolution Plan, President Goodluck Jonathan said that he will leave the country better and stronger than he met it. Is there any aspect of Nigerian life that you can give the president credit for having moved Nigeria better or stronger in the last 3 years?
Well, to assess the president now is really a very difficult issue. One, because Nigeria perpetually has been in a very bad situation. It didn't start with President Jonathan. It didn't start with him, but it became worse. I think we have reached the bottom of corruption, the bottom of all the things bad. It's a stone which is falling. It has hit the ground now during his regime. But we won't blame him for all that happened. He met Nigeria like that, but he didn't make it better. He made it worse. It's very difficult to assess him because nothing is working in Nigeria. Um, Even in hospitals, don't be surprised, doctors can steal drugs. Doctors can steal equipment. These are educated people. In universities, professors can ask students for bribe before they pass examination. This is what we're talking about in Nigeria now. We really need a very strong, upright leader to put things back.
Now, in a January 31st Facebook post, you call that the roadmap for recovery. You try to lay out your understanding of the political calculations of 2015. Can you please briefly say what you think will happen in the next 1 year? Summarize it the way you articulated it on your post for our viewers.
Yes, what I can say truly that today is not like yesterday in Nigeria. The general picture of the democratic development is in a better shape now. I don't think the 2015 election will be like the 2011 election. People are wiser. Politicians now, they can come together to form blocks of alliance and mergers. So Nigeria is really developing very, very well and at a very fast speed. So what I see is that rigging election in 2015 will be extremely, very difficult. For that, we want, and what I want for Nigeria is to have very strong opposing parties. I don't want just one party monopolizing. I don't want the PDP to fall and the APC to stand as a lone party. No, I don't want that. I want very strong parties, at least two, like we have in the Republicans and the Democrats in America. We want the PDP to be strong, standing on its feet, APC to be strong, standing on, in such ways they can challenge each other, they can minimize the rigging, they can minimize this corruption we are talking about. Then politics will come into play. And it's even, this is the dialogue, politics is dialogue. Try to convince your opposition on something good, something common for everybody. So what I see that 2015 is going to be a better year for election than the previous years altogether. So I advise all the parties, one, to adopt internal democracy. In APC, nobody should hijack positions. They should allow people from their constituents to elect the leaders they want. One thing with people, once they elect leaders, they listen to them. But once they see that there is imposition, then people will not obey anybody. So we want all the parties, APC, to maintain its decorum and conduct a free and fair election within the party. So also PDP. PDP should do that.
Now,
yes.
sorry, in that roadmap for recovery, you suggested that it was very intriguing that in the worst case, a Southwest Muslim president and a Northern Christian ticket will lead to landslide victory.
Yes,
how did you arrive at that?
Okay. You see, the war, the way Jonathan conducted his war against terrorism, and I can explain to you now, since we have already a victim, a scholar in Zaria, a Sunni scholar was assassinated, most probably by Boko Haram or by some agents, we don't know. What I'm trying to say is that Muslims are the first victims of this terror. So when you want to fight terror and you take a whole region and subjugate it to all these draconian laws, generally the people will resent. So there is a great resentment against Jonathan, not just because it's Jonathan, no, because of the way he conducted his government in the past 3 years. The North, everybody's complaining. The economy is in a bad shape. There is insecurity. Then there's this news about massive corruptions. Yeah, and the image of Jonathan now in the North is really, really gone bad. So if the APC, if the APC will even put, well, and in the as I said, we will put anybody which the North will find more palatable, more amicable. He will have a landslide. What do you call it? A victory, because from Sokoto, Maiduguri to Adamawa, everybody would vote for him against Jonathan. But if the PDP can put somebody who can also be acceptable in the North, this is what I want people to do. Every party should put a candidate that is acceptable, so that Nigeria, whoever wins the election, will have a stable Nigeria. Uh, I can tell you now, myself, if even any party suggests to me, come and be our president candidate, I will say no. I will say no. I cannot. I cannot be a president of Nigeria. Why? Because of the diversity of Nigeria. Let everybody maintain his diversity. I don't want to impose myself on people who are ready to reject me. So we should have neutral people that will be acceptable to everybody, so that we have peace. Everybody wants peace in Nigeria. We want to develop.
Sheik,
Things are really, really very, very bad in Nigeria.
Sheik, let me ask you. So, if you're asked now, who is a typical candidate, a Southwest Muslim candidate you want to see as a presidential candidate, who would that be?
Anybody that, you see, the equation should be a South Muslim candidate that will be acceptable among the Southwestern voters. He has to be acceptable to them too. It's not anybody you can pick.
So, did you have anybody in mind when you were thinking about this?
No, somebody who can bring the votes from Southwest in the block. If somebody like that, then if the North can bring also somebody, even a Christian, to stabilize the polity, a Christian that is acceptable in the North. There are a lot of Christians that can be acceptable in the North. But there are some that really are known to be fanatical and anti-Muslim in Northern culture. There are many of them we know.
So,
If somebody,
Sheik, I'm getting at something because people are suggesting that what you are saying here is that you are recommending Governor Fashola as the candidate for presidential for APC. Is that the person you have in mind or somebody else?
no, what I'm saying is, if Governor Fashola or whoever from the Southwest, if he can bring the votes from Southwest completely as a block, then he has a chance. The mechanics is who can bring the Southwest, whoever he is. You see, like Abiola was able to bring Southwest along with him, and the northern states followed him. You know, Abiola is a very nice person, very amicable person. He's not what do you call it? He's not a wicked person. Nigeria, we don't want wicked people that will cheat people. Look at now, roadblocks everywhere. Economy is so bad, killings everywhere. Nigerians don't want, they want somebody who's peaceful, who's amicable, somebody who loves people, who wants to listen to people. This is the kind of person Nigerians want. So if the Southwest can produce anybody like that, I think if the PDP will maintain Jonathan on the other side, APC will win.
Now, Sheik, this another calculation. Some people are saying, okay, so you have Jonathan on one side, and part of the politics that they are playing now within the PDP is that the PDP is more like a central party, that APC is more like a Muslim party, which is not true, but that's the part of the politics they are playing. So people are saying, so what if the Northerners will bring out a Christian Northerner with a vice president that will be a Muslim, probably Southerner? Is that possible in the North?
Like how if the repeat the question.
To counter Jonathan and the PDP, if the APC will bring out a Christian Northerner as president and a vice president that will be a Muslim Southerner, do you think that will work in the political environment today?
No, it will not work. It will not work.
Why?
Yeah, it will not work. Why? Because see, the Northern Christians, unfortunately for them, during the 2011 election, they have, you see, the 2011 election actually was more or less quasi-religious election. The Northern Christians all went to Jonathan. So they need to build the confidence back
Mm.
in the among the northerners to show that yes, they believe in being northerners before they can be taken seriously.
All right, we're running out of time. Let me ask you, there's an interview in a Hausa language newspaper that was translated into English by Premium Times this week, where Nuhu Ribadu was narrating his experience running for president in 2011. And one intriguing part of it was how the opposition party members had a meeting with General Babangida, General Aliyu Gazo, and
So,
Atiku Abubakar. I don't know if you are aware of that interview. Now, I want to ask you, what is the role that those three people are playing in Nigeria? Do you think they are part of the solution or part of the problem? I'm talking about Babangida, Gazo, and Atiku Abubakar.
okay, we are all in PDP 2015.
They were in PDP, but they met with Nuhu Ribadu to plan strategy for the opposition. How do you read that?
Well, it's very difficult to, it's very difficult to ascertain such proclamations by anybody, because these people are, they know how they trade in politics. You know, they have their legs in every corner, and they know their calculations. There are people you can never get to, if you sit down with them, you can never get any concrete word from them. You don't know which side they are. But you never, even the press, they don't know which side they are at all. So what I'm suggesting is now Nigeria, we need to heal. We have suffered enough. And the young Nigerians can do it. So we need a new page. We need new people. Jonathan could have really succeeded. Has he done very well? Because he's new in the political arena. Nobody knows him except when Obasanjo brought him. He could have done well if he has embraced everybody, brought peace. But unfortunately, this is not what he did. He even the president Obasanjo was saying he became a Joe president. His marginalization of a section of the country, his prejudice against religion, those who are against him. Yeah, many things have happened in the government in this short time that he has really made the atmosphere very bad. So what I advise the APC is to take 2015 as a very serious election to repair Nigeria. They should put somebody who Nigerians will vote. PDP should forget about rigging, because the rigging is what brings about this a lot of mayhem and death. In Kaduna State, more than 500 people were killed when Yako was imposed. So let people select elect presidents they want, the governors they want, and the leaders they want, and Nigeria will heal in a short time.
All right, Sheikh, we are really out of time. Let me ask you one more thing before you leave. General Aliyu Guzau is being tipped as the next defense minister. Do you want him in that post? And do you think with him in that post that the issue of Boko Haram might be handled better?
Well, I think yes, if he can accept the position, the issue will lessen in the sense that the North will feel a little bit comfortable. You know, just some few 3 days ago, the Christian Association of Nigeria in Kaduna State branch came out publicly opposing the posting of a Muslim police commissioner in Kaduna State and other, what do you call it, directors of the security. They're saying that it's all occupied by Muslims. You know, when you have too much Muslims in a place, Christians feel uneasy. Likewise, when you have too much Christians in a place, Muslims feel uneasy. It's natural to have such feelings. So for him to be a minister of defense who can oversee and look at this, what do you call it, security reports that are coming from the North, I think it will be very good for the nation, because then people will be sure that, yes, things that happen are really caused by Boko Haram, not by other agents.
All right. Shiek Gumi, thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right. So stay tuned. We will continue with our programming today.